Do you rock with me? Cause I vibe with you.
Ride with me.
I don't spend no game, wouldn't lie to
Would you lie to me?
I'm just trying to say I wanna slide with
You slide with me.
Are you trying to go circle, yes or no? Do you rock with me? Cause I vibe
Oh,
with
you vibe with me.
I don't spend no game, wouldn't lie to
Would you lie to me?
I'm just trying to say I wanna slide with
You slide with me.
Are you trying to go circle, yes or no?
All up on the phone late night, she wanna slide with me. Rolling up a couple bones so she could come get high with me. Take your time, it's fine with me. She said 10 and it's 9:50. She independent, got her own money that's so pimpin'. Sexy. She like what you sippin'. Hennessy with Lipton. Picked up on the vibe soon as she walked inside. She was like hi, I was like hello. Then we took a shot, made her legs feel like jello. Blowing on the la la, feeling like mellow. Never on a rah rah, nah nah, treat me like da da.
Welcome back to another episode of the Randy Wilson Podcast. This is episode 71. We climbing up, numbers going up. We got a phenomenal guest on the show today, my brother Jay Bizz.
Yeah.
Before we get into the introduction of Bizz, though, which I'm gonna need his help with because he's got so much stuff going on. I don't even know where to start, man. I'm gonna do my best. He's moving, and I think that's part of the interest, you know, to kind of catch up with him and see what's going on. But before we get into it, please go to randywilsonpodcast.com to find out more information on the show. Just somebody, you know, of the community, for the people, speaking to the people on behalf of what the people want to hear. You can find this podcast everywhere podcasts are played, except SoundCloud. All right, and we got some problems, but it's all good. And yeah, you know, super excited about this episode, super excited about the things that are going on. But definitely make sure you subscribe to the show, hit the notification bell so that you can stay tuned in to future episodes of the Randy Wilson Podcast. All right, J Biz, episode 71. This has been an episode that has been building for a while because we've been in conversation about it. And there's not a guest that comes on my show from Richmond that typically doesn't mention J Biz. He's been in so many of the previous conversations. I believe that timing is everything. And right now, Biz got some interesting things going on. Let me, for those of you who are possibly just becoming familiar with him for the first time, I'm going to let him help me on understanding some things. But let me just first off start by saying artist, MC, influencer in a lot of ways. I would say the brother's an image consultant. I mean, he's not just a barber or a beautician. I mean, he is a image consultant. This brother has a mobile vehicle that will pull up at your spot, okay, and provide whatever services that you need. And you can see him pulling up anywhere. You can see him pulling up anywhere from up and down 95, 64, 85. Right now he's in Atlanta. He's recently transitioned there. I've seen his mobile vehicle pull up. By the way, it's nice too. You know what I'm saying? It's got paneling and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's expensive. It looked like it costs a whole lot of money. But he'll pull up, you know what I'm saying? He's doing it for the celebrities. This brother is a celebrity stylist. All right. And one of the things I find unique and special is that the brother is eclectic in knowing how to use his skill set and knowing how to move a room. I mean, you know, he is an artist in a lot of different ways. You know what I'm saying? Musically, creatively, you know, he also has a podcast coming out with his sister, you know, so he's creative in a lot of different ways, but he will create a way to get up in your party, get up in your video, get up in your situation, get your hair straight, get your whole mind straight, probably provide a counseling session while you're in the chair, right? And
That's real.
And he may just drop a 16 while he's on the set and work his music in. Like, I think that's a nice play on how you're able to kind of uniquely bring all things together. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And I got an interesting question for you to start, but you know, for the first question today, but you know, as I'm continuing to build on it, the brother's been doing music for a while now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's established himself as a well known, well put together young man throughout the Virginia area. Now he's in Atlanta and he's known. You know what I'm saying? He's known, but I think he's in a very pivotal space right now. I mean, he's a young man, but he's a grown up young man right now. You know what I'm saying? He's at that place right now where he's about to approach. You know, he's still ascending. He ain't peaked out yet. So there's so much opportunity for you, Biz, and I'm really just happy to watch your journey. You know what I'm saying, and see you take your path. And I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what you're about to do, because I really believe that your business mind is on just as much as your creative mind. Um, Let me ask you this question. I was talking to Sir Bay in a recent show, and he made a statement that music is free. And he basically said music is the soundtrack to our life. You know, I mean, people pay for it, obviously, but when people fall in love with the brand and the character or who you are, the music part, particularly now with like streams and internet and just how music circulates, right? It's like, I think when people look at you, they see an established brand, and with that, they see a brother that does music too. And I think that's asset. Sir Bay said it. Puff Daddy said years ago that, you know, he don't make his money off music. He makes his music. You know, his music is just complimentary. So I think you move that way. I think music is special for you, obviously, even though another hashtag, cultural curator, creator here, by the way. I'll get there. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that you kind of got a formula, in my opinion. You're not just in a one box situation.
Facts.
And whether it's the music or it's some of the other ventures that you got going on, you know what I'm saying? You got it packaged. You know,
Facts.
I think that gives you an advantage.
Okay, I appreciate that. Man, let me say firstly, man, 71 episodes is crazy, bro. That's hard work, bro. Like, and consistency first and foremost, man. Congrats on that, bro. You definitely need a cheers on that. But as far as what you was talking about, yeah, man, I like my whole thing is like everything is a creative expression. You know what I mean? And it all coincides with one another. It's all a part of me. I'm a creator. So if that's music, if that's cutting hair, if that's, you know, coming up with a program, a business, you know what I mean, or whatever, you know what I mean, it's all creative works. And it's always at the aid of people, you know what I mean, to lend a hand and with my experience or, you know, just with my perspective. So I think that's the thing, man. It might sound like it's a lot, but it all coincides. You know what I mean? They all speak to, you know, one another. So I think that's the biggest thing with me. I try to find ways to intertwine every facet of myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you do that very well. So tell me this. I tried to intertwine all these different pieces of you in how I introduce you. Okay.
You did a good job.
I mean, I got some low key bars. I'm gonna keep them back right now, but if you want to, you know what I'm saying, get into them later. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like, so I try to do that based off knowing you, right? But for those who don't know you, and I think the way you move, it's easy for you to come across people probably on a daily basis that may be brand new. You might develop new relationships everybody don't develop new relationships daily. Everybody don't move like you move, right? So for a person who's becoming familiar with you for the first time right now, and they're listening to this show, right? How would you introduce yourself to them?
I would say, how you doing? My name is Bizz. Some people call me J Bizz, Bizz for short, and I'm a creator and entrepreneur. And all around just, you know, philanthropist and good individual. Like, I would probably label it like that, you know what I mean? That also does music, you know what I mean? That also does other things, you know? But at the end of the day, I'm a creative, you know what I mean? That's you know, that's what I be on, man, just creating, dog. Like, it's so much power within that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yo, born and raised in Richmond? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what does Virginia mean to you?
It means everything. Virginia is home, man. Richmond is home. It's where I was able to acquire all of the skills and the things I needed to survive and to make it in different places, Atlanta or wherever I go, it's definitely like if you can make it, I mean, they say like you make it in New York, you make it anywhere, wherever you at, they probably say that, but if you make it in Richmond, man, you can make it in anywhere. You can, like you can make it anywhere. Like you can survive and you could trailblaze the path, you know what I mean? If you can do it out in Richmond.
Yeah, man. So there's a few things I want to hit on, man. Let me start here. Let's talk about the podcast real quick. You and your sister, okay. I think you guys have recently recorded some episodes, if I'm correct, right?
Man, yeah. So everything's pre-recorded because we're talking about different topics that aren't like subjective to time, you know what I mean, or current events, if you would say, but it's definitely something that the topics are things that people, a wide spread of people, a niche set of people will, gravitate to and will be probably, inspired by. And we have an album as well, man, that coincides with the podcast that we recorded all within the last couple of months. I mixed every record we recorded along myself and my sister both recorded. And then we got Michael Millions to master it. And that's called My Sister Me as well. And that comes out on May the 31st. And hopefully, we'll be back to talk about that if we can, man, before it comes out. But, yeah, but yeah, just to give a background to that. And the first episode actually drops the first week of May. It's going to drop on Sunday. So, man, it's dope, man. I'm really excited. We were in an editing session today, kind of like wrapping things up. We're about to start flowing out the marketing material. It's fun, like for real, because not to get into too much of this, because I want to talk about more of this when we sit down with my sister as well. Yeah. But the way that we create and how and the experience we had during this process, man, has been crazy, bro. And it's like you don't really realize how much of a identical person you are to your sibling. Like, you know what I mean? In certain areas, it's like, damn, we are blood. You know what I mean? Because we don't spend a lot of time together. Because I'm here and there, she's doing her thing. Yeah. But it was really dope because we never sat down and did a project, a whole situation, like from beginning to end, talked about it for months, y'all, it's dope, man, to see it come to fruition, man.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I look forward to seeing that. I look forward to engage into that conversation. Two things that came to mind. I'm not surprised at all that you're doing the podcast. I think Mecca recently said on the show that because you guys had something I know that you used to do something in a barbershop or in a salon, and I know that you did something together. And like she said, when you talk to Bizz, he really loves getting into having conversations about relationships. And so I can already imagine that the content that you and your sister are putting together is going to be intellectual, and it's gonna probably cross over many things. So it's no surprise to me. But I'm gonna share something with you that I'm experiencing new in the podcast arena, right? And I thought about it when you was talking about how, you got the vibe situated, right? Like, man, I tell you what, if you don't, it's probably like similar to making music to some degree. You know what I'm saying? I have a past in that. So I think I think this may be relatable. Like when you're making music, some people make music from a pain moment. Some people make music from a happy moment. You know what I'm saying? Based off what inspires and that person is how they create, right? Yeah. With a podcast, in the very beginning, I attempted to try to create my environment for every episode, for every show. Mm-hmm. I try to create my environment in creating the dialogue, and now what? Like I learned something like after every episode. I learned something after everyone. So to reference 71, like it used to bother me if I hear myself, like to hear that don't sound good, but to engage in conversation and to show active listening is good because it helps the listener think you into it, right? But it don't sound good. So I learn things all the time. But I'm gonna tell you what I just learned, something new, is that going back to like creating the space to engage in the conversation, like to create the vibe. It's so real life when it's so real life when you're doing a podcast that you can't create the vibe. Just like right now, you outside right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't change the vibe. I mean, you created it, you engaged. It's dope. Don't get me wrong, I ain't taking nothing away from it. You know what I'm saying? But like I realized that when I got a schedule of guests and I'm trying to work that schedule, that I know it's coming, but if something happens 5 minutes beforehand, I gotta fix that, or I don't.
Yeah.
Before I go into that conversation, because if I don't, I'm gonna bring that in. So I just recently started seeing how my vibe was interrupted in preparation to do something, but then you go on and you start to do it, and you gotta like, you gotta fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like the vibe can be gone until that energy between you and that guest takes you on another place. But for me, because see, I'm not interviewing with a bunch of staple folks every single time. It's usually just me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I gotta really control my vibe here, regardless of what's here, because it's just me. It's a new thing I'm dealing with.
That's dope. That's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. You definitely learn. I know you done learned a lot, man, going through the processes, like you said, bro. Because 71.
Well, yo, and not even a stunt, because I'm trying, like, for real, I'm trying to do, but like I probably got in the mid 80s, but they didn't have all of them don't have numbers.
Yeah, I feel you.
So when I do something and it's kind of like, I need to do this, I need to put it out, but I'm behind in editing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't give it a number, I just put it out like a special episode. So anyway, this ain't about me. This ain't about me.
That's
Some of the
dope,
podcast. Some of the podcast. And I wanted to touch on the podcast. That's one of the things I want to touch on. Another thing I want to touch on is I want to kind of go back, though. I want to go back a little bit. For those of you who are not familiar, and if you aren't, please go check out my YouTube page and you'll see it. We did a cultural curator video at Virginia Union University at the salon built by this brother right here. Tell me, reference the name of the salon.
Brand New Wave VUU. Brand New Wave
Brand
VUU.
New Wave. Brand new what?
Wave, like a tidal wave.
Yeah.
And then VUU.
Yeah, Brand New Wave VUU. Basically, man, well, this brother's so nice. He up in there giving students apprenticeships, man. They in there getting educated. You know what I'm saying? They getting their skills developed. They on their way. You know what I'm saying? They on their way. So salute to you for that. I found that to be very unique. But nevertheless, you and your cousin, man, y'all got the culture curator thing. I see it still moving. Just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So two things. As far as culture curator, that whole idea was brought to me by my cousin, Ron, with Climbing Trees Daily. And, it was something that inspired him from watching Insecure. And basically, it gave him that idea to want to try to start this movement where he's at. And then when he brought it to me, it was like, I said, cuz you need some music behind this. Let me curate that. So that's how that started going. So I curated the music. He curated the campaign. So now the campaign is actually in the second gear where we teamed up with the marketing agency, and we're running different individuals, highlighting them, using the marketing agency, their platforms, and kind of collaborating on that tip where we're putting out these individuals on that grand scale of the marketing agency and all the things that they bring with their resources. Mm-hmm. So after that, man, we got some other things. Like I spoke to Radio B today in Noah O a couple of weeks ago, and we definitely want to shoot a video, for Culture Curator. It's been on the radio doing numbers as far as like the spins for the last, ever since we kind of dropped that on 106.5. Shout out Mike Street and everybody over there at the beat, man. And man, it's doing good, man. And basically, we just want to highlight the people that's doing great things, because even in the song, it says they try to find a leader, but it's all of us. Like that whole line came from a community meeting we were having, where one of the community leaders was meeting with the different individual leaders in the community that actually put their hands, get their hands dirty, like myself and others. Noah O, Z-Bay. There was a couple of people up in there, man. It was some good people. But basically, he was like, man, when everything was happening with the riots and all this stuff, well, not the riots, but everything that was going down a couple of months back when George Floyd had got murdered. And basically, he was like, the people that were in City Hall was like, yo, where's the leader? Bring us the leader. We need to, and nobody could answer that because we're in a place right now where it's really is no leader. It's like everybody's leading, in some shape, form, and facet. And that's what the whole culture curator thing is about. It's like all the leaders. It's not just one person. It's a swarm of people that have this idea of pushing the culture forward out here in Richmond, Virginia, as well as just Virginia, and it's dope. And we just need to highlight them, man. They need their flowers. You feel me? Because people been putting in work.
Dope. I mean, just and I can see it going so many places. I can see it go. I can see it continuing to evolve. So, yeah, I definitely want to shout out you. Shout out Ron. You can learn more about Ron and see some of the movement that he has with the culture curators at Climbing Trees on Instagram. Did I reference the IG handle correctly?
Yes, sir. Climbing Trees Daily.
Climbing trees daily.
With an S on the trees.
Go check it out. Culture Curators is definitely a dope movement. I've seen. I was respectful. I'm proud to say I was mentioned on there. I've seen Mecca recently mentioned on there. I've seen Kelly Lemon mentioned on there. You guys, you know what you're doing. You strategic marketing and you're collaborating with the Martin Agency. I don't know if it gets any better than that. So
yeah, man, and that's cuz making that connection, man. Like I said, like I just add what I can add, like connections of the connections I can, but cuz is making it happen, man. So salute to cuz Climate Trees Daily, man, all the way.
So I mean, you got a dope setup over there at Virginia Union, man. And I
Yes,
noticed
sir.
like when you in town, I guess you still like you still moving that, you still keeping that
So
safe.
yeah, it's still rocking, man. That's a school, man. So like you were saying, it's set up for students and also like people that don't go to Virginia Union. So anybody that's doing this and ever had an aspiration for barbering and cosmetology, definitely check us out at bnwartistsacademy.com. And you can look into all of that and see what we offer. But basically, yeah, man, we have apprenticeship programs, which gets people licensed, man, where you're getting paid. You're not like, with the, well, you probably don't know, with regular schools, or not regular schools under the DPOR umbrella have to like basically go to school from 8 to 5. So that's Empire Beauty and different places like that. They have to literally go there for a work schedule period, and they get paid nothing, but they get to keep tips and different things like that when they're on the floor. In the apprenticeship world, you get to make, hourly wage as well as getting your education. And the way that I do, I give scholarships, a certain amount of scholarships a year, where basically it's a partial scholarship, not full. It's basically where you would just have to pay for the overhead, that I would have the books, the different things like that. But the educational piece that I would get a fee for is waived, So it's a win-win for everyone, and basically go through and you get your L's, man. As long as you stay with it, because this thing, man, people think you can get into it and just turn the key, and it's like you gotta stay down, you gotta put in the work, and you have to be motivated, dedicated, like anything else. But yeah, basically it's that. We also have internships, and also have a space for people that have a license to come and work, because we're able to service the community as well as the staff and the students. And right now, with us moving through this pandemic, really getting an understanding of how things should move, the schools should open back up a little bit more. More students should be on campus, and we'll be back running, at a smoother pace as far as the traffic goes, because it's been a little different. I can't lie to you and say it hasn't. As far as the traffic goes with student base, because everything changed. But we're getting back to a space, man. We're getting back to a good space. We got a couple of students that's enrolled. We have a couple of students about to pass right now and get their license and go take their state board. So we're in a good space, man. So shout out everybody that's doing their thing over there. Brand New Wave, BU, through the Artist Academy, man. It's really dope, man. It's a dope thing to be a part of.
What is it? What is it that contributed to your desire to give back? I mean, I see that you are very invested in giving back to the community. Where did that come from?
I think, man, that's always what I wanted to do, is be a resource and a value to others. Back in college, we had to write out mission and vision for ourselves, right? Like how businesses have that. And mine was to be a value to each person encountered. You feel me? So with that said, you know, it just, you know, and it go back further than that, but that's just like something I remember, you know, very, you know, clear because it wasn't too long ago. But yeah, it's just something that I want to do. And I figured like when you can, in business, when you can solve a problem for a mass amount of people, that's when you're successful. You know what I mean? Yep. So I try to innovatively do that with everything that I do. And yeah, man, it's been cool. And then also, like before I got the business going and everything, I had a desire to do it, but I was like, I gotta wait till I get more money, or you know, whatever the case may be. And I mean, like more money, like millions. You know what I mean? To do it big. But then when I opened up my business in 2015, and the success was coming as far as like the notoriety and the money too. Like we was coming in. It wasn't like millions, but it was coming in. It's coming in, so it's like, why not? You know, do what we can with what we have, you know, and that's basically been my been the way I've been living. Like, do what you can with what you have.
Yeah, you know how to leverage. I feel like you know how to leverage. So I'm gonna use that as a segue into my next question. Before I do that, I'm gonna take a quick moment to introduce you all to something that you may not be familiar with. All right, I am I feel like I have like an acquired taste for like good wine, good alcohol, right? And I am a big fan. Now, I'm a big fan of this. I'm gonna put you on something that's Virginia based. I think this is out of Newport News, Newport News or Hampton, I'm pretty sure. Some of you guys may be familiar with it. Some of you all is going to be put on for the first time. It's called Ironclad. Okay. It's a small batch bottle. All right. It makes me mad when you have to buy bottles that are like small, but when you choose to still do it because you enjoy and value the quality of the you know, small batch, but the reviews were not good. That's the interesting thing about it. The reviews were not good. I done bought 4 or 5 of these now. All right. It's probably like $39. All right. This is a Virginia based bourbon. You can get it in Newport News. Yeah, Newport News, Virginia. It's Ironclad Distillery Company. I want to put you guys on that. It's a bourbon. You can get it in your local ABC store. Go to the local Virginia section. But anyway, the reason why I'm bringing that up, the reviews were not good. Yeah. But I'm telling you, it is good. Yeah. And I called and I told them that, hey, I sit by a bar, I do a podcast. I know some things. Maybe you guys want to, you know, maybe you want to partner with me because I can help promote your stuff. Like the reviews were not good that I checked out. So, but I like it though. So it just makes you realize like sometimes you got to see past views and you got to see past numbers. You got to see past likes, and you got to give it your perspective. And if you like it, then that's all that matters. Yeah. And if as we talking about alcohol, we talking about maybe an artist that you're becoming familiar with on social media, like don't get caught up into the numbers and the views. Like take a chance to embrace it for yourself. So they ain't giving me no money to say that, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to get some money with them because I'm definitely buying into them.
That was just an advertisement right there.
I'm gonna get some money. We're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on that. That's a free one, right? So I think you just got done. You know, I think again, you seem to do a good job at like knowing how to balance juggling different things. You said you're creative. It's all in your makeup. It's the ingredients. It's the ingredients of who you are. It's, you know, with all that being said, I think that I spoke about it in the beginning. You do a really good job at knowing how you leverage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to be nosy right now. You know what I'm saying? Like what's a good conversation? What's a good conversation without being a little nosy? All right. I want to know. Look, the people want to like tell me how. Give us some examples of how you've been able to leverage your style, image consulting, barber, cosmetology skills in the hip hop game, and you know, nurture and navigate toward that benefits you outside of. I mean, you already getting paid to be there to do what you do. By the way, I said he's a celebrity, you know, stylist. He's a celebrity stylist, all right? But he's also, you know what I'm saying? He's also his own creative artist and got his own stuff too. And, you know, if you hang with celebrities, sooner or later, you're going to be a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? It's just all part of what it is. So Give us something on that, man. What are you doing? We want to know what you're doing.
And it goes back to that mission vision, you know what I mean, that I said back in college, like being a value to each person encountered. Like I try to, if I'm involved with you in any manner, I try to be a value. So you're always gonna want somebody that's valuable around. You know what I mean? Like, so you just gotta make sure that you're man, as long as you have something you bring to the table, like you're gonna be straight. So that's really how you leverage. You have to bring something to the table. Like you can't leverage anything without having anything. You know, so that's my biggest thing. Like I took time to build something, you know what I mean? And with that something, it gave me skill, it gave me knowledge and expertise. And I'm able to now take that and go to the next person that I see like, oh, I dealt with this already. Like, maybe you should do this, do that, you know what I mean? And it makes sense, you know what I mean? And also I have something to show for it. I'm not just saying like, I had these ideas and I did this. Like, this is what worked, this what didn't work, you know what I mean? Like, so I think that is what kind of helps me a lot, you know?
Well, you know, so I mean, you obviously can do some things though. Like you can do some things that a lot of people can't do when it comes to your skill set, you know, in the salon, barbershop, you know, those roles, right?
Yeah.
Going back to my original question though, is music free? Like how do you incorporate the music? How do you work that in? Like I feel like you got a lot of things you can give them. You can give them, you could be an A&R, you know what I'm saying? You could be the artist, you could be the stylist, you could be a lot of different things. You're probably doing some counseling in the chair. You know what I'm saying? Some coaching. So what's your take on the music piece? Like, how do you incorporate that? How do you pitch that? Are you aggressive? I mean, are you obviously there's strategy.
Yeah, like I think with me, what I do is I just am planted in everything that I'm doing. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not like an either or thing no more. It's like it's just all entwined. So if I got a barbershop, I'm playing my music. You know what I mean? You feel me? I got the videos playing, you know, like I got the books out, you know what I mean? Sitting on the table. That's how I got a couple sales out in Atlanta, like just having my stuff just accessible. You feel me? Like just showing up. You feel me? Like and so I think that's you know what I mean? That's really again having some value to bring to the table. You know? So I think that's
being ready.
Thing.
Just being
ready and using those platforms as means, going back to the music, using it as a means to, you know, that's a leverage aspect. Now, and a lot of times I don't even say that. I just press play. Like I'm playing everything else, you know what I mean? And blend it in and people rock with it. They're like, yo, who that? And then they catch on when they hear me saying my name or whatever. They be like, yo, I thought that was you. Yo, that's dope. Where can I get it? They Shazam in or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, like, so that's how I do it. I just intertwine it, bro. Like, I figured out a way. I used to be like, yo, I got to do either or. I got to cut or I got to do music. I can't do both. Like, I got to pick. And then one day, I was like, why I got to pick for it?
Yeah.
How can it work all together?
Yeah.
Without it being like you're doing too much. Because you don't want to confuse the consumer or the person, you know what I mean, in a sense of what. But I think people are starting to get like that. He's just a creative, bro. He's just a, you know what I mean? Like he's creative. Like, and I don't do a whole bunch of shit, but it is enough. You know what I mean? And it all, you know what I mean? It people are catching on and getting it, and it's not so confusing. Like, what is he? What is he? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, all right. You know.
So you in Atlanta now? Are you in Atlanta permanently? Are you back and forth? Like, what's the situation?
It's always back and forth because we got the school. You know, I had a school. I got family, nephews, and things back here, friends, and things of that nature. So I'm always back and forth. It's home, but I'm definitely more so in Atlanta. Like I have to be out there in order to be able to get the opportunities.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
how's it going?
It's going great. The last big thing that I did a couple big things. The last thing that dropped though was the Young Thug and the Slime Lane was 2. Like I was the barber on set for that. And that was off of word of mouth, like me doing another set and then hey, we need a barber for this set. You know somebody? Oh yeah, heck yeah. Ooh, you know what I mean? Like, and just getting the alley oop, you know what I mean? And really being there, it was very gratifying because I was there and I was getting paid my rate. You know what I mean? Like it was like I was there working. You feel me? Like it won't like I was just in the space and I was there working. You know what I mean? Like that made it feel dope. Like getting booked for something that you take pride in. You know?
You said it was for Young Thug.
It was for Young Thug and like his whole YSL label. Slime Language 2. So they just dropped the album. That joint's actually #1. Like the picture, like for the album cover, I cut like 7 people on there. Cause it's a lot of them. You know what I mean? It's like a compilation album.
So you got paid 7 times.
I mean, I cut more people than 7, but 7 people that was on that cover.
Gotcha.
Cause people, there was like A&Rs and shit. You know what I mean? Like that I had to,
You was working for real. How many heads you cut? Dang.
At least like 10.
Gotcha.
I was there for 12 hours, 12, 13 hours.
Gotcha.
Only work. So the way that don't be working too, man, just to give y'all insight on it, like you're on set. Sometimes you're on set 12, 13 hours, but you actually physically work probably like 6 to 8. You know what I mean? Like literally like grinding, but you got to be there just in case. You know what I mean? And you get compensated for your time. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's what it is.
Yeah.
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 So
it's real life. It's real life, man. Babies out there, things going on. Yo, we glad you outside. So man, no, I think that's dope, man. So what's been your what's been like the moment where you've kind of been like, yo, that shit was crazy?
Shit, that I ain't gonna front. That joint was wild. Where it was like after a while, like while I was there, it was like I was just going through the motions of I gotta lace everything. I was just in my mode. But then when they started to roll the rollout, I was like, oh, I didn't know the magnitude. Because while we was there, bro, we didn't know if this was a video shoot. We didn't know if this was what. Like everybody like, yo, what is this for? Like, so we just there. They like, yo, cut this person, cut that person. And then after the rollout, it's not like this is what this was for.
You and Mr. Good Evening both in Atlanta right now, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we both went out there at the same time.
I'm sure he's making things happen too.
Making it happen crazy.
Yeah.
Making it happen crazy. He just got you gotta have him on the show too, man. He doing some big stuff and he don't do stuff in front of the camera. So that would be dope for him to speak about all the things he's doing. Like I don't even want just know he powering up.
Is he back? Is he still in Atlanta right now or is he back in Virginia?
Man, we both going back like first of May. So like in like a couple of days, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. About business. Let's talk about the book.
Yeah.
Business. I thought you had a dope. I like the whole layout, particularly in the Christmas holidays. I thought you did a really good job with the marketing on that. I checked your interview out with Mike Street. Yeah, man. I thought it was cool, man. I like the whole that was that trend. That was like for me. That was like, that kind of was impressive to me. That was a little different. Yeah, so let's talk about the book. I haven't read it. Tell me why I need to.
Man. I mean, I think it's just it's a guide, you know what I mean, to master yourself. Like it's not giving you, it's just one tool to help you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't want people to think like, yo, this is going to be the thing that takes you to. It's just going to be the thing that helps you get to the next step, from my experiences and the things that helped me, you know what I mean? And things that I look back and be like, that was a major turn in my life. That was that was pivotal, mm-hmm. and just kind of compiling all of the experiences and giving people like, different activities to go with, whatever the topic of the content is. And it's a self-help book. So, it's places in there where you can write in the hard copies. You can write like journal. Like I said, it's activities after each chapter. And then there's an album that goes with the book that kind of gives a vibe of what the verbiage is about in the book. So it gives the musical vibe of it. So you're going to feel it and then you can read it, 2 different literatures. The book is a little more in depth than a 3-minute song, but it's still, it still correlates. You know what I mean? So
let people know where they can find that book at.
Man, the book, man, if you go to my website, www.itsbiz.com, you can go ahead and grab the book from there. We have the ebook on there as well. You can also find it on all the other mediums too, but I'd rather you come straight to me because I don't have to break no bread. So come to itsbiz.com and we'll get you squared away. itsbizz.com. You'll see everything on there.
Dope. Yep. Yo, I gotta ask this question. I really don't know it. Like, I don't know this. I hope it's not, I hope it ain't nothing. Is Bizz really your last name?
Bizzell. Bizzell's my last name.
Because I was like, your sister's last name Bizz. I was like, man, I don't know any Bizz. I was like, y'all the only Bizzes I know.
Yeah, so
you got a big family?
Yeah, there's a lot of us. As far as
so it's Bizzell? It's Bizzell?
Yeah, Bizzell.
Yo, that's unique though. I don't know. Y'all don't know any Bizzells out there. Ain't nobody know any.
If you do, they probably my family, man.
If you do, man. Where's your family from?
Man, North Carolina. The Bizzells, North Carolina, where a lot of them are. They're like all over. Yeah, they all over. So North Carolina, Florida, Texas. Baltimore. We all over, bro. New York.
Dope. So we approaching the fourth quarter, man. Before I get into some of the other stuff, I want to know. We want to know, like, what is it that we need to know right now that's moving with you?
Right now, you need to know is my sister and me is coming May 31st. I'm super excited about that. First episode of the podcast again is coming the first week of May. So that's very soon. They drop on Sundays. Man, like, shop with us if you want to get your hair cut or hair done. We do other things at the shop too. So it's Twist. I have a young lady in there. She does wigs, she does weaves, braids, so all that good stuff that you need for this the hot month. So come over there if you need, everything we talked about. Like, whatever you may need, just follow me because that's how you stay intact with everything going on. And then you can follow each individual thing. So that's how I compartmentalize everything. You got JBizz as a brand and entity. Then you have B&W Mobile ATL. Then you have B&W VUU. Then you have 1010 Entertainment. And then you have RVA Ball for Cause. You have, which is a program that we've done under our nonprofit, which is Brand New Wave Cares. So
what's 1010? What's 1010 Entertainment?
1010 Entertainment is where I, it's the LLC that I use to release my music, and it's an entertainment company, but we do a lot of under it. I published my book under that, like, so it's like, it's for all of my creative works when it comes to music and books and that, books. Dope. And I have other artists that we're rolling out, this year too. So. I just want to be a platform to help others, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we get money together, bro.
Yep. All right, man. Fourth quarter. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
10.
Okay, cool. 10 randoms. You get 10 random questions, man. Like right now, you look like you in a random place, man. You looking in a real random place. Like you look like you might be up to no good. I don't know, but we won't go there. So I can go 10 random, right? 10 random. All right.
I don't know where it's about to go. Let's see.
So I'll start real simple. What's that hat say?
My sister and me, we got the gear coming too.
Y'all got merch coming. Okay. All right. Early merch shot. All right. Put me. Let me know, man. Put me on. Let me know.
Yeah, my sister and me coming.
So we gotta keep it simple. We gotta keep it simple on the front end. Is there anything off the table? Anything off the table? No disclosure. We didn't sign any paperwork beforehand. We don't want to. Women may want to know certain things, man. Listen, they hold me accountable to ask young brothers like you certain things. But I mean, I'll relax. Nah, go ahead. All right, I can. No, I can go wherever. Okay, cool.
Go wherever. I'll definitely let you know.
All right, cool. Well, we can start simple, man. When you was a young Bizz, you know what I'm saying? Young JBizz, right?
Yeah.
Who was your celebrity crush? I'm talking about. I want to know where you. I'm talking about between 15 and 22. Young celebrity crush.
15, 22. Wow. That's back in the day. Who was I banging with?
Who was you
All right, let me
banging? Who
ask you
was you
this.
what? Excuse me?
I said banging with.
Oh, my bad.
I was trying to think what show. Whatever show was popping, and I probably was rocking with the dopest character on that joint. I just can't, like, man, I've done so much living. I'm like, yo, I can't even think back to then. But I will tell you who I fuck with now. Excuse my language. Tracy Ellis Ross is dope. I've been with Tracy. I bang with Shorty from she's on Power Book, and she was on Everybody Hates Chris. Paige.
Which one? Who's that?
I think her name is Paige.
She was on.
She's on Power Book. Everybody Hates Chris.
I watched Power.
Everybody Hates Chris when she was young. On Power Book too, she's with is it the Power Book
Reek's girlfriend.
In the class, you see that too. You know,
I like the professors on Power too, though.
she be bad too.
Yeah, the one she'll get with the students.
I'm trying to think though, back in the day. Who was it? That sucks. I can't even really think, dog. Like who really was like popping back then? Like who 2000, that was like 2005 for me, I think. So 2005, what was going on there, bro? Like what's
Beyonce been going on since
forever.
Yeah. I don't know. Like when I think back personally to childhood shows where I was like into the girl on the show as a child, you know what I'm saying? I'm showing my age, but like I used to feel that Lark Voorhees, whatever, like from Saved by the Bell, she stood out. I used to be into Ashley on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You know what I'm saying? Like, but from a show standpoint, like I didn't like Moesha. I didn't like Moesha, man. I never liked. I was always Monica over Brandy. So
what? Yeah. That's crazy. You bring up Moesha, man. We got something special. Me and my sister did to a Brandy joint that we about to drop. So that's gonna be dope.
Oh yeah.
So I definitely can't wait for you to see that joint. Did you see him bang with Moesha?
I didn't bang with Moesha.
Did you like Brandy?
What? Like I never. I'm sorry. Listen, apologize to you Brandy fans, but like her raspy voice was just never for me. Monica, I feel like had a beautiful voice.
Yeah, Monica, man.
I just like Monica. When Monica was sitting up on the roof talking about just one of them days, and she was bald headed. It didn't matter to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like she didn't have no hair. I loved her. I love Monica.
Yeah. Dang.
Yo, that's question one. We got 9 more of these. So you know what I'm saying?
Let's get it.
We got 9 more
come
of
back
these.
to that if popped in my head, but go ahead.
All right, man. So you do both male and female hair, correct?
Yeah, but not like long as they got like shortcuts, women shortcuts. I could do some sheer work, depending on what they want, but it's not too deep. Like I don't go too deep in it when it comes to the women.
I find barbers. Some of the most hilarious personalities are in the barbershop from like comedic, like, you know, but at the same time, you find some super intelligent barbers, man, because they have the ability to like absorb all this information from the people that come in and out every day. And you got the TV and the radio, and you just constantly accessing knowledge, right? What is your take on what is the misperception you think? No, I don't want to go there. Let me reverse that. What I want to say is this. Compare the difference between a barbershop crowd and a beauty salon crowd. What do you think is the difference?
I mean, it's like depending on who's in the barbershop. So if it's just straight males in there and straight women in the beauty salon, I mean, the content of the conversations are going to be different. The lingo might be different depending on what barbershop you're in or salon you're in. It might be a little more raunchy, or it might be a little more aggressive. You know what I mean? It just all depends. Those are the big, you know, differences. Okay. You feel me? Yeah.
Yo, who was you most who had a big influence on you as an artist from Richmond growing up?
From Richmond? Mm-hmm. Oh man, so Nicholas F. So Nicholas F. and my sister came up together. So I'm like the little brother that was around all these cats. You know what I mean? So F was definitely someone that we was looking at doing big shit. You know what I mean? Like as far as like Freestyle Fridays and features with Drake and you know what I mean, just the different things he was doing for the city effortlessly was dope. I enjoy watching that. As I got a little more older, I started to look more at skills and how he moves. I like how he moves as far as like he's like over West Coast and then he's all here too. He keeps his presence both places and worldwide. I like how he always finds a way to interject his brand into the current times. You know what I mean? Like he keeps it going. Man, Dedicated Boys. That was back when I was in high school. They was the guys that was really getting that airplay. Super Friends, of course. As I got older, man, me and Danger Mouth has, you say younger, but like Danger Mouth has definitely been an intricate piece to me in my development. Not even on a musician, just on some man to man type thing. We really be chopping and just iron sharpening iron. Rum did this thing, man, and that was very exciting to watch. I was very excited to hear the different things that he dropped with Khaled and all the different things that he did and opened up for the city. Man, Noah O. I've been with Noah. I met Noah a minute ago. You know what I mean? And Noah was like trailblazing and one of the very few that was doing it, putting on events, and doing big things for the city as an entrepreneur and an artist. So that was dope to watch. Like I started watching him before I was even active. You know what I mean? I was just going to the events. I wasn't really like showcased. I was out here, but I wasn't like going as hard in the scene like that. In that scene, because it was like a different scene. Of where I was at. Because I used to do a lot of the. It was crazy. I was out today, like walking. And I walked past Canal Club, bro. We used to have a lot of like open like mic nights there, man, with J30 and also my guy Richardson, CJ Richardson, man. So a lot of the cats that came through that sector, man. It's like, man, everybody that, let me say this, any and everybody from the city that has been able to put themselves on a higher pedestal or platform to be heard has inspired me. You know what I mean? From then to now, there's too many names to mention, but I watch anything that comes past me, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Dope.
That's probably a long answer.
Right now, who is what are you listening to in the car right now?
I'm listening to my sister. I'm listening to I'm listening to my sister. I'm listening to Greetings from Virginia Volume 2. I'm listening to, just all this unreleased music we got to roll out, bro. Like it's so much. Yeah. It's so much. Listening to the Added Decimal. I'm listening to, a lot of my people, man. I ain't gonna front. And then I also listen to the different artists that I'm on set with. I listen to them. Yeah. And just different things that I come across. I listen to a lot of stuff, bro. Yeah. Like, so whoever I'm around, any friends or whoever, like, that has some dope vibes playing, I'll grab that and save it to my playlist, you know what I mean? But I listen frequently to what 1010 and our affiliates are putting out, man. We got some stuff that we got some stuff, bro. We got some collaborations with some UK artists that's about to drop. We got collaborations with some over there with Drake from Toronto or Vancouver. So it's like, just, you know what I mean?
You're building.
Yeah. Listening to that, you know what I mean? And whatever else drop they come across, you know what I mean? Like I check it out as long as the marketing catch me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I already told you, but I really like that song that you and what's the guy name, man? I was doing that dance.
Max. Oh, Sip.
You and Sip Marcel, right? Yeah, I really like that. I thought that was good.
Yeah, I wish it was original, man. We was going back and forth on if we wanted to put an original beat to that before we dropped it. But we everything about it was organic, and we wanted to stick to the whole challenge. And you know, what I mean, I wish it would have been original. I wish we could have because it really, man, that don't fuck the city up a little bit. I didn't know so many people had checked it out, and then I didn't know it really gave us a glimpse of what could be done when two individuals that are moving in the same direction, maybe in different lanes, can do together. Because we literally, bro, literally.
Well, that helps me with my next question then a little bit. How would you, what lane are you taking?
As far as musician or just in general?
Well, in the comparison that you made with him, you said two artists kind of going in different. What did you mean by that?
So basically, just our brands. You know what I mean? Sip is more of a, Sip is in the night world. He's a bartender, by trade. You know what I mean? Just like I'm a barber by trade, and he meets a lot of people. He's parties, women. You know what I mean? Different things. And granted, I'm on that type of vibe too. But you don't also see me on some business. You know what I mean? Community driven. You know what I mean? But it's I have those different elements too. But I don't really, do a lot in that light, you know what I mean? So when we came together, we was able to do a track that had the right synergy for us both, but we also brought our individual viewers and fans in on something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just dope, bro. That joint, man. That joint was a good vibe, and I like the rollout for that joint.
I thought it was dope too, man.
Man, that was fun. That was real fun. I can't even front, man. Shout out Sip, man. And look, from that, me and Sip, we got some stuff. We didn't probably did about five to we did a whole bunch of records, bro. So that's a part of the records that I'm talking about, bro. We went crazy.
Well, we look forward to hearing more from you guys. That's basically what I'm hearing. So just a sideball curve conversation. Growing up,
What's up?
Did you eat pig feet, bacon, pork chops?
Hell, not pig feet.
You ate
bacon,
pig?
Definitely. Bacon from the pig.
That's it.
Ribs. I was definitely on the ribs, bro. Oh man, I miss me some ribs. And then chicken. And,
so you done with that lifestyle?
Yeah, bro. I've been pescatarian for 4 or 5 years now. And basically, I wanted to make a route to vegan, vegetarian, but it's I'm at a point now, man. I'm on some balance. I just want to have a balanced diet, and not eat too much of anything. Now, granted, I probably still won't pick up the red meat and that ever again. Chicken, I'm still I'm cool on, you know what I mean, and turkey and all that. But it's still just balanced. So even with the seafood, it's all right, some days I might be you know what? I don't want any meat. I'm about to just straight eat grass, you know what I mean, and veggies, or seeds or nuts, peanuts and, different walnuts, and them joints got protein, a lot of protein in it, you know what I mean? So it's just about me just finding that balance, man. And in every aspect, from my diet to my lifestyle, just, creating a balance.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Another random question. Jordan or LeBron?
Man, I'm a Jordan fanatic. I love LeBron, though, bro. He a Capricorn. He is a stand-up individual. Granted, we don't know what LeBron do on his day-to-day. But the way that he's marketed and branded and what he shows really paints him in a nice light.
I feel like it's got to be pretty close. I don't feel like he out here doing.
I think it's too crazy,
I mean,
bro.
I think he drink wine, and that's about it.
Bro, he a Capricorn, bro. So the thing is, and I'm not too big on signs, but I'm big.
What's your sign?
I'm a Capricorn.
Okay. What's your birthday?
So January 8th.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, man, I just know that we're very responsible, right? So LeBron knows that he has a lot of people, you know, on payroll, you know, if he does something dumb, it's not just LeBron that's gonna suffer, bro. Like, you feel me? Like,
Yeah.
so I think him knowing that responsibility, that's why we could say it's very close.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I could believe, like, I don't see this man messing that up for what?
All right, Kobe or LeBron? I mean, God rest in peace. I mean, you know, it depends on what you know. I'm just talking about who do you want? Who are you picking right now to take you to the championship?
Kobe.
Kobe.
Kobe got that killer, man. LeBron sometimes. LeBron sometimes. He has it, but I think, man, sometimes the junk get jammed a little bit.
Think about it as this: as great as LeBron is, LeBron will probably go. He could easily go down as. I mean, he truthfully could go. He could arguably go down as the greatest player ever. He could arguably. It's
He's all around,
right?
all around.
But the thing about it is this, though. We will always critique and compare that dog. Like what Kobe and Jordan had was just so, you know, aggressive.
That's what I'm saying.
That that ain't who he is. Like really, LeBron is more like a Magic, you know, type of.
Russell Westbrook has that.
You got that pit bull, you know, that
canine. I
in him.
love it, bro. I love it, and that's the shit that Kobe and Jordan tapped into, where it wasn't like as ferocious as Westbrook, but it's like yeah, bro, ain't nobody gonna stop me, bro. Like I'm coming straight down the middle, and I'm gonna bang on you, and then I'm you know what I mean? Like going back on D, and lock you down. You know what I mean? Like
that's
so
just
it's
what
like
it is.
It's not passive. It's very assertive.
Yeah.
You know, I think sometimes LeBron could be a little passive.
Yeah, I agree. All right, 2 more questions, and we're gonna close up. You know, there could be somebody out there that just watched this show tonight. You know what I'm saying? They may have just become familiar with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does these women need to know? Do they need to know? Like, what do they need to know? What do they? I'm not gonna ask you the question. What do they need to know? They may have questions, but what do they need to know? Do they need to know that the DMs open? Did the DMs close? You know what I'm saying? What do they need to know?
I need them to know that my sister and me is dropping May 31st.
He's been media trained. He's media trained.
I need them to know that personal business is out and been out for the last 2 years. I want them like
it's personal business. It's personal business.
Personal business is out.
Oh, well then everything's in the book. Oh, it's all in the book then.
Personal business, bowel business, all of that. I'm just referring to the catalog. I would like for them individuals and women to tap into what I got going on. Women and men, like tap into that. Like, and when I say women and men, I mean like I'm heterosexual. Let's get that right. I don't want people to get that twisted. But what I'm saying is I want people to check out what I got going on. I'm not really thinking about like I'm trying to get at this woman, that woman. I'm just in a space of just trying to like level up, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? And yeah, bro.
Yeah, well, hey, man, I asked for them. You know what I'm saying? I asked for them.
Yeah, but I love the women, bro. I love estrogen. Oh man, the energy is amazing.
I asked for them. And respectfully, I asked for they too, man. We don't discriminate around here. I asked for the world.
Yeah, I love the estrogen, bro. Like, so with the women, like, man, let's link up and let's try to get this bag. Like, how can we help one another? How can we give value to one another?
Hey, listen, ladies. Women, like, if you, ladies, yo, they may have some hair to win. You know what I'm saying? If you got some hair in the closet, or you just got some hair and you want to cut it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Go give it to the new wave. He can apply that to somebody else's hair, give them some wave, give them some life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Y'all can mismatch hair. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you want a model? You know what I'm saying? He got a video coming up. Shoot him an image. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let's work. Let's see how we can help one another, because I think even with the shorty that I end up locking in with, man, I want us to be of value to one another. So the best way to do that is to do it. And then from there, like, you know what I mean? You figure out whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. Whatever that's going to be friendship, associate, or more.
Yo, acquaintance, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can have a relationship, you know what I'm saying? there's all kinds of relationships, man. They said
Yeah.
this brother respectfully rumored to be the king of relationships, whether you talking intimate, spiritual, nutritional, you know what I'm saying? Like this brother is here to provide support and render his services on behalf of relationships. He has a podcast, he does barbershop talk. So last question is a shameless plug, brother. I'm sorry, I gotta do it, but you gotta let them know. Hey, I'm a. Before I ask this last question, I told Mecca on the last show we did. I said, look, man. One day, Bizz and I went out to ride bikes. I had this crazy wreck. I told her the story. I said, look, I went off on the thin tire in the grass in the mud and tried to
Bro, I
transition.
rode past it the other day and it's still the same mud in that little
It
coat.
is.
Like
I know, man. I said, but let me tell you what, man. I never felt like he clowned me for it. He never really did, yo. That was a rough moment, bro.
For you, bro.
That was
like,
rough.
no.
Yo, that was rough, man. Look, man. And I said, we still did 45 miles.
It's a shit, bro. That's the crazy thing, bro. Oh,
We
man.
still did it, man. So I always have to say, man, I was like, yo, man, that's one of the moments where, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, after you make sure someone's good, like, you entitled to laugh. Yo, he never laughed.
Nah, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That joke was scary, bro. I was like, yo, did when his teeth come out, like when you hit that damn concrete, bro?
It was serious. Hey, look, man, I'm fully healed. My hands fully cleared up. My lip came back. It was bad though, man. But bike life,
bro.
Man. Bike life. That's all it is.
Wow, man.
I've had a few.
In slow motion. That shit happened in slow motion.
Man, that was rough, man. But man, before we close out, man, let those folks know, man. Let them know why they should rock with the Randy Wilson podcast, bro.
Man, because he's thorough, man. He gonna give you that good introduction as well as that good content within what's going on, man. You're gonna come up on some new gems. You're gonna come up on some new things, man, from the people that he has on the podcast. Everybody has on the podcast is elite. He's elite. We out here, man. Like, that's why. We the illest.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. I look forward to future collaborative stuff, culture curated stuff, whatever it is, man. You always welcome here, man. Let's promote this show. Let's go live. Let's go wherever. Let's do whatever we got to do, man. And make sure, like I said, for those who are following, you go check out Jay Bizz on Instagram. He got his link tree set up that will send you to everything else that you need to know. There's nothing that you need to know that's not already out there. All right. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't be asking too many questions. Right now, you just need to know about him and his sister. They got the podcast. They got the show.
My sister and me is first, man.
That's it, man.
Everything else is rolling after that. So my sister and me, Greetings from Virginia Volume 2. And a host of different like EPs with our artists from the label. So Added Decimal. And affiliates, man. Shout out SIP, shout out K-Mon, shout out Leela Bizz, shout out Max Cupid. You know what I mean? Shout out the whole squad.
Yeah. Yep. All right, now. Appreciate you guys. We going up, man. Let me just say, I got a couple episodes coming soon that I'm really excited about. A couple of them, man. One of them is going to be crazy. Like I'm not even going to say anything about it. When it happens, you'll know that might have been the one he was talking about. So we're going through the technical difficulties, but I think like the timing of you coming on is really good, man, because I'm hoping that all goes well. If you guys out there listening, interested in being a guest on the Randy Wilson podcast, please submit your inquiry through the email. It's in my Instagram bio, rwilsonpodcast@gmail.com. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you all for your support, shares, likes, and stay tuned. We do have some things coming up. Pull-up series is coming back. I got a pull-up coming this Friday. You can check me out at Rotate the shoe store. We're going to be pulling up in there and doing something very interesting. So stay tuned. And again, appreciate you guys. Thanks.